So it is kind of a big game, and it's not like if Louisville would have handled business last week and it would have beat Clemson, it'd be an even more interesting game. But it's interesting because Louisville can pretty much throw that proverbial knockout punch as well to obviously SMU, right? Again, 7-3, not having a great year, but they still 5-1 in the ACC, right? Noon game. If Louisville can go on the road, which they're more than capable of doing, and beating SMU, that knocks them out, right? They have no chance at getting into the ACC championship game, right? Now it's interesting because Louisville has struggled in some of the games this year. Obviously, they've been dealing with some injuries to some of their core. I think Isaac Brown went down with an injury, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they'll be leaning on some of the other pieces. But the key is just like Miller Moss has to take care of the football, right? Miller Moss has to take care of the football. He has to obviously be able to, survey the field, not get flustered, not throw the ball up for grabs in tight windows in traffic. Because really, like SMU defense is susceptible, right? You can throw on it, you can run on it. So, I think for Louisville, important part and piece is going to be getting Miller Moss in a rhythm early, right? And you do that by having a really effective running game. It don't have to be 8-9 yards of carry. But if you're getting 5 or 6 consistently, you set up second and shorts, you open up the whole playbook. You can run different plays. And you got one of the best receivers in the ACC, in my opinion, right? Nobody really talks about him, but Chris Bell is that guy, right? He's a stud. And I like what their defense can, or what he can do to a defense, right? Nearly 1,000 yards receiving this year. Kid is a stud, right? And if you Louisville, I'm leaning on kind of a balanced attack, really good running backs, Duke Watson. You got obviously Q1 Brown. You got pieces you need in order to make a difference in this game. And they secondary is susceptible. So if you Louisville leaning on that and being able to obviously be balanced, it's going to play obviously into your hands, right? Now the Cardinals, going up against Kevin Jennings, who has had an up and down career. Like he's been good when he's been good, and then he's been okay and towards the lower end of the spectrum when he hasn't been as good, right? So we know they can do a little bit of everything. We know Kevin Jennings is always going to have a shot in games. Um, they don't lose a lot of games. In terms of the ACC play, they've been really good over the last few years. And if you SMU, your goal is to get back to a title game, right? And to ruffle some feathers and get into obviously CFP playoff. But it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be one of the best games in the ACC besides Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech, right? A lot on the line for both teams. I mean, Louisville, obviously already bowl eligible, not too much for them. But if you SMU, you got a lot to play for because you're trying to stay on track. You're trying to stay in the running for obviously an ACC title spot, right? Need some things to go your way, but you could potentially, get back in that conversation. So those are some of the keys to watching this game. I like Louisville here on the road. I think they can do what they need to do in order to come out on top. I like the balanced attack on the ground. And like I said, just get Chris Bell going early and often, man. And Miller Moss just has to take care of the football. Pressure Kevin Jennings, force him to some mistakes. He's been a little turnover prone. If you can do that and slow down the offense, I think you got a good chance to win the game. So I'm going Louisville, man. In this one, I think it'll be a higher scoring attack. I'm going to go 31-24 win for Louisville over SMU, man. And SMU pretty much gets knocked out of the ACC title game with that loss. So I'm going with Louisville